What did you think of Ernest Hemingway, Lynn, before you started this project? And how did your view of him change and evolve?
Yeah, I will confess that when we started the project, I thought I wouldn't like him very much, or I didn't think I liked him very much. I really love his work, and I always have, and I still do. But I think the human being I found so troublesome. He was so cruel to his friends. He was a serial monogamist, which he cheated on most of, the women he was supposed to be faithful to, and treated some of them very badly. He could be um, anti-Semitic and racist, and just there's so many aspects of his personality and his behavior that I found really, really difficult to deal with. And so I thought I would not like him. But over the course of making the film, first of all, getting to know him better through his letters and the people who knew him, and just getting a deeper understanding of the things Ken was talking about, his vulnerability, his anxieties, his demons, his struggles. He became more of a fully dimensional person. And I developed much more, I hope, compassion and empathy for him, what he was, what he struggled with and how he managed to endure for as long as he did, given what the cards he was dealt and then the ways he was so self-destructive as well.
Ken, I know you believe his hypermasculinity was a kind of a protective mask. Can you talk about that? And was he just succumbing to the stereotypes of his era? And how do you think he used that mask?
It's really complicated, Katie. He comes by the aspects of that public image honorably. He is an outdoorsman. He is a big sea fisherman. He is a big game hunter. He is a brawler and a man about town and a drinker and a connoisseur and all of those sorts of things, a bullfight aficionado. But I think he permitted that to sort of grow and give people the impression that that was the only thing it was. And yet, the work is so enduring. He is dealing with universal truths about nature. He's an extraordinary observer of nature. He's an extraordinary observer of human nature, particularly how men and women get along or don't get along. And he's an amazing observer of what human beings do at their worst in war. And so he's left us this completely immortal prose. He's all those things, but also not those things. And I think that in that vulnerability and anxiety, he also develops a kind of curiosity and an empathy and a sympathy for how others live. And the writer Edna O'Brien said that, she thinks parts of A Farewell to Arms, arguably his greatest novel, could have been written by a woman. She thinks that Hemingway may take that as an insult, but she sees it as a compliment, because even though he gets, as she says, the boy stuff right, meaning the war descriptions, that what everyone remembers is a woman dying in childbirth. And so he has moved and positioned to and centered a woman's struggle in a story that has overtly kind of masculine sort of direction and momentum. And it's an amazing thing that he's able to do that. And I still pick up the short stories or the novels and just shake my head. There's sometimes we've been in discussions where somebody will just read a quote and you'll go, who writes like that? It's such a gift. And so a lot of it doesn't excuse all the things that Lynn was saying. Nothing excuses it. And we hold his feet and keep those feet to the fire. But at the end of the day, he's arguably the greatest novelist that America's produced in the 20th century.